Alrighty, so over the past couple of days, I have become a conspiracy theorist, and I think that the next LR character is going to be Blue Giant Diane. And I've got evidence. Not concrete evidence, but I have what I think to be a good amount of evidence, maybe, to sort of support the claims. So obviously, it's not set in stone. It's not concrete or anything like that. But at the same time, there's a lot of other characters that also could get LRs as well. But here is why I think Blue Giant Diane could end up being the next LR. So obviously, first and foremost, what I have pulled up here is the new AOT banner, which is coming out on Global on Tuesday. It is already out on JP, and there are two notable characters in here that, I think a lot of people are leaning more towards Gother. During the live stream that they did for AOT, for whatever reason, they showed Red Gother being one of the, characters that were on the banner, because whenever they'd show them off on live stream or whatever, they show, 4 of the units on the banner, and they're like, oh, hey, here's who's on the banner. And for whatever reason, they chose to show that Red Gother was in the banner. I think that Gother is too useful. And I think that if they give Red Gother an LR, it'll probably be super broken, because he has a rank up, which is still considered to be one of the best things in the game. It's crazy that he came out so soon into the game's lifespan, and you could just immediately rank up characters' cards. That's really nuts in of itself. But in the really early days, and I mean really early days, in PvP, people used to run Blue Diane with Blue Skinny King in PvP, and they used to just try to use Blue Diane's ultimate to wipe the field, because it was an AoE ultimate, and it hit pretty hard for the time. So I'm thinking that it's going to be her. Obviously, the next big thing to help support my claims is this new Aaron is also going to be Giant Race. I know that it's not unheard of or anything. The old Aaron also, whenever he turned into a Titan, gained Giant Race in general. So the fact that this character doubles as a Giant Race isn't necessarily concrete evidence or anything like that. But I think that this may be decent lead up into the fact that Giants could be sort of meta soon, so that way you can get sort of, or I say meta, but there could be more Giant support soon. I don't know. It might be a little bit of a stretch. I can understand that, but I think that with the current, Festival DN that we have, she's just really supporty. She has the whole taunt, and then the pulverized card can hit pretty hard once she builds up a lot of stacks and everything like that, but it's mainly used for taking off ultimate move gauge, and to actually have her deal the damage, you're going to basically be using her ultimate, which is very strong. I'm not gonna, say that it's not or anything like that, but I think that if they did Blue Giant Diane, they could make her a pure DPS character, because she doesn't have a taunt or anything like that. She actually just has 2 damage dealing cards, and I mean, one of them is a debuff, but we'll go over that in just a minute. So I think that the fact that this new Aaron does sort of help with Giant Race a little bit, I think that could be something to go off of. Another thing is that they have been slowly sort of teasing, I say teasing, but they've been putting Diane into a lot more artwork and stuff like that lately. There's this sort of boosting event picture that they put out with Diane there. My camera's in the way, but she's on this one, and then they're talking about the Giants and everything like that with the AOT collab on this one. Like I said, could be a stretch, but I think that it could be, decent evidence for the build up. Obviously, I don't think we're going to be getting a new LR until the next Hero Arena season starts, but I think that if it's going to be any 2 characters, I literally think it's going to be either Blue Giant Diane, or it might be small, skinny Blue King. And I think that he could be a really nice character as well, but fairies don't have much of anything going on with them at the moment. Helbram is incredibly bad. He's a backline sort of support with his Holy Relic. The Elaine that we have is pretty decent, and if you keep up to date with anything, or maybe you haven't seen this yet, in the newest patch, I think it was either this patch or the Matrona patch, there was a new Elaine artwork already added to the game, and there was even her skills, which it seems to be an attack skill and a buff skill. So we are going to be getting I assume, green Golden Wings Elaine sometime in the near future. Could be the next banner that comes out, since they've already got like the artwork and everything in the game. But I don't know exactly what she would do. I genuinely think that the blue Golden Wings Elaine that we have is already really good, but she just doesn't have like a good character to help support. I actually really do like the blue Golden Wings Elaine, but I think that Diane might be the next one, because we just got Matrona, and although Matrona isn't that great, and I was like, why would they give us another taunt Matrona of all things? But she gets damaged, damage reduction for 2 turns with her buff. It's 30% damage reduction as well, and then she already has the Holy Relic that increases Giant Race basic stats by 25%. So I think that they might be trying to push into a team where you maybe use this new Matrona, maybe this new Diane, or this Diane once she gets an LR, and then you might be using Aaron on the team as well. Since he will also be gaining the basic stats and everything like that from Matrona's Holy Relic, because he doubles as a giant. So yeah, I don't know. It could be, but this is just my speculation. This is the one that I'm hedging my bets on. I think that if I'm gonna hammer down and select one that I think is gonna get it, I really do think it's Diane. Her passive on one hand is really bad. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna plan on doing with this character when they do LR her, if they do. But her passive is increases the hero's attack by 6% at the end of every turn, and it's 6% for 5 times. So if they're going to make her the DPS, her gaining attack could be really nice. Maybe they'll end up changing this to attack-related stats. Maybe they'll make the percent a little bit higher. I could see it being maybe 10% per turn, or maybe they'll lower the limit on this and increase the amount of percentage that you get. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they would do with this, but if Escanor is anything to go off of, his passive was pretty basic, and they made it way longer. So I'm assuming they could do a lot of stuff with this passive. She has a single target attack seal, which I think wouldn't be unheard of if they made this a level 1 attack seal, because it's only a single target. I think that it could still work out really, really nice. So you can basically, whenever you go up against Demon Kings, for example, her second card is a Rupture. They're already going to have buffs on them, so you're going to do 2 times damage to buffed enemies. So you could throw out the Rupture card, deal really good damage to them, and then attack seal one of the other characters on the team or something like that, so that way they can't attack. So, for example, you could hit him with the Rupture, do a little bit of damage, and then attack seal the melee, so that way he can't try to pop his true magic or anything during that turn. You could set up, the taunt with Matrona during that turn as well, or, well, you're probably going to have to pop evasion or something like that. So, I don't know. I think a turn 1 attack seal isn't going to be, crazy. I think that would actually work out, since it's just single target. It's not an AoE level 1 attack seal. That would be really annoying to go up against. But, yeah, obviously she'll probably get a huge stat boost. And then her ultimate actually doesn't have an effect on it, but it just deals damage in general. So all they got to do is slap some sort of decent, actual card effect on this thing, whether it be, I don't know, they could make it if they wanted to make her a crit-based unit or something like that with attack-related stats. They could put Spike on this thing. They could put, I don't know, Pierce on it for just more damage in general. They could put crit chance Sever, just to make sure that it crits and hits harder. I don't know. They did a weird thing with Escanor as well, where they just gave him a ton of extra crit chance instead of giving him Sever. It lowers the enemy's crit resistance, I think, by 100% or something like that. It's a little bizarre, but they could have just gave him Sever and then moved on, but they decided to go with something a little bit more unique, I guess. So they could do some really cool stuff with this one as well. But that is pretty much where I'm standing with it. I think that she's a really good candidate to be the next one. Like I said, Blue Skinny King could also be a decent unit as well, but I mean, I don't know. I like this Diane. I haven't used her in a really long time. There are times when she does become useful for final bosses and stuff like that, because she has a Rupture skill, or just some random stuff like Guild Boss every once in a while. But I don't know. She has had a final boss. She's got some cool outfits and everything. She's really old, so a lot of people probably do have her 6'6" if you've been playing the game for a little while. But I don't know. Just genuinely, I like the giant team. I also like the fairy team, so I wouldn't be opposed to getting the king as well. But I do think that she has a pretty decent shot. So. Obviously, mine's level 90. I don't think I have her like costumes maxed out or anything like that. I have literally one, and it's because it's the Power Ranger outfit. But she's gotten tons of cosmetics over the years, so like it wouldn't be hard to power this character up to like max and everything. Obviously, I wouldn't do that like preemptively or anything. I'm not saying that you should invest into this Diane right now by any means. This is still just kind of me, you know, just speculating, more or less. But who do you think is going to be the next LR character? Because I think a lot of people are sort of leaning towards maybe Gother. I think a lot of people think that Skinny King could end up being the next one. Obviously, it's a little too soon to tell. There's not really like a big trend with the characters that they're choosing at the moment, other than like kind of hyped characters for right now. They did Lost Vein first, of course, and then they did Green Escanor next, which I think was a really good pick as well. I do like this Green Escanor quite a bit, and I think Lost Vein was a great choice to go with for the first one. But if they're going to continue going with Sins, since the two have already been Sins so far, I imagine it will be like base set Sins, like the ones that we very first started with. So I don't imagine it would be like a smaller Diane. And then, I mean, I maybe would have liked to have seen like a base melee or something like that get an LR maybe instead, but I think Lost Vein is still very, very cool. He was the first festival. He was kind of like a milestone unit, so it kind of makes sense that they would kind of cater to that one. Don't really know that we'll end up getting like a Bond like this soon. I think that they are kind of working on the human team a little bit right now, especially with the AOT members being all humans. There could be some decent team comps coming out of that, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Let me know what you guys think, but that is it for me. I just figured we would kind of speculate a little bit. There's my case as to why I think the blue giant Diane will end up being the next one, but, you know, feel free to shoot that down. You know, let me hear your counter arguments, whatever you got. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Starfield comes out later today, so I will probably be phoning it in and probably half-assing the channel for the next couple of days while I play that. Plus, I'm going to be waiting for AOT stuff to come out anyway, so it's not like there's a whole lot for me to do in the game right now anyway. So hopefully you guys have a great day. I don't know, hopefully you guys are enjoying seeing the JP content and everything. I'm definitely watching, you know, videos on the new AOT units as well, but that is it for me. So feel free to subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be doing live summons whenever the banner drops, and I will see you guys there. See you then.